Hey y'all, Pat Waters in Paducah, Texas. Welcome to Drive Across Texas. I'm telling you, where we're at right now is cooler than the other side of the pillow, folks. This is the establishment, the VFW Hall in Paducah, Texas. The first person that ever played this stage on the Grand Open was none other than Bob Wills, the king of Western Swing. I'm telling you, when you walk in here, you can feel the aura. I mean, it's unbelievable. I'm here with Brad Brooks and Jim Sweeney. Brad, how you doing, buddy?
Glad. Thanks for coming.
Good, man. Thank you for having us. Mr. Sweeney, how are you?
Great, Pat.
Good deal. Folks, I'm telling you guys, I'm just going to let you, I'm in amazement. As an entertainer, you know, I play these old dance halls that are 100 years old, and you walk in, you can, like I said, you can feel the aura, you can feel the presence of bygone years when these
we've
guys.
had lots of musicians tell us that this is their favorite place to play.
Well, I'd like to play it one day, you know, but I'm not much Western Swing. Now, I'll throw Milk Cow Blues and Green Snakes, and I'll do a couple for you. But anyway, you know, Brad, tell me about this place, man.
Welcome to the 77th Rodeo, Cottle King Rodeo this year. We've got back last year to use our VFW again. They've been playing it for the last several years out there at the rodeo grounds, and less people's been getting, and I just kind of made a suggestion, hey, let's bring back to the roots. We've got the best dance hall around. And we had a tremendous turnout last year. And this year, we didn't have any problems. You know, hey, VFW, what it turned out, bring it on. You know, this place has got a lot of history. We've got like 2 generations. Hole Nix, Jody Nix has played here. Our Saturday night band, Greg Gibbs, he's got Chad Maines playing. That's 3 generations of the Maines brothers that's been
Now, he
here.
ain't Ken Lloyd, is he?
That's him. That's his uncle. That's his
awesome,
uncle.
man.
You know,
And
there's a lot of history here.
For those of you who don't know who Lloyd Maines is, you probably, he's the Maines brothers regional act here in Texas, but his daughter was Natalie Maines, which is the lead singer of the Dixie Chicks. So, anyway.
You know, Jody told me several times that Hole and Bob used to stack them in here like coldwood. You know, and we got one guy said that we're still researching that there was over 2,000 people here on one weekend.
You know, that sounds like a Pat Waters concert.
Yeah.
And we're going to stick with that.
You know some more bands?
Oh yeah, over the years, like you said, there's lots of history here. People from surrounding towns would always come to Paducah because this was the best dance hall going, and we had lots of good entertainers here. Miller Brothers, Wichita Falls, played here a lot. There was a band out of Taylor, Texas. It was huge back in the 50s. They played here a whole lot. Off the top of my head, I can't remember all the people that have been here, but there's been Ray Price's band has played here. Hank Thompson's Brazos Valley Boys played here. Its list goes on and on.
Well, I'm telling you, as an entertainer, and people think I'm crazy, but if you're an entertainer and you follow the history of country music like I do, I mean, this is phenomenal. You can, like I said, you can feel the aura. Now, the one thing that's really unique about this VFW Hall here in Paducah, and I think, Jim, you had a lot to bringing it back with, is it's only one of the few dance halls that's left. I think Kane's dance or ballroom up in Tulsa has one. Mm-hmm. It's called a floating dance floor. And so when y'all came in to redo this building, it was in pretty horrible shape, wasn't it?
Well, it was just, it had really not much maintenance since 1950. So, yeah, it needed some work.
So what all did you do to get it back to this immaculate condition?
Well, started on the floor, swept, mopped, cleaned it up well, and then we started waxing it. It absorbed wax like water going into a dry sponge. And about 40 cans of Johnson's paste wax later, here we are. The floor has absorbed the wax, it's cured, it's in really good shape, it's easy to maintain now.
That's great. How many times did you wax this floor?
18.
A labor of love, right?
Yeah, true.
Well, I'm telling you what. Well, guys, I tell you, Brad, thank you so much
Appreciate
for
it.
allowing us to come out
Appreciate
here. Mr. Jim,
Thank you.
thank you so much. Folks, I'm telling you, if you want a taste of bygone Texas, man, of years past, with entertainment, with ranchers, with real farming communities, real rodeos the way they're supposed to be, you need to come out here to Paducah, Texas, and hang out with my buddies here. You will not be disappointed. So be sure to add that on your destination on your drive across Texas. Remember now, that baby's coming from a Texan. Adios. Get Done Up Boutique and Salon is located at 811 8th Street on the Square in Paducah, Texas. They're open Tuesday through Friday from 10 to 6 p.m. and Saturday 10 to 4 p.m. Stop in and check out the fabulous selection of unique gifts, clothing, jewelry, and home decor. Be sure to join them for their weekly Facebook Live event on Mondays at 6:30 p.m. And while you're there, say hi to Tessa in the salon and schedule your hair and nails. Get Done Up, where there's something for everyone. And that's coming from a Texan. The Heritage Museum, located on Highway 83 in Paducah, Texas, is a visual, living history of Paducah and Cottle County. You will find a knowledgeable staff, a unique collection of pictures, antiques, memorabilia, and more. The museum is open Monday, Tuesday, Thursdays, and Fridays from 9 to 11 a.m. and 1 to 5 p.m. The Heritage Museum in Paducah, Texas is certainly worth a stop on your next drive across Texas, and that's coming from a Texan.
Howdy neighbors, Pat Waters here. I'm sitting right here at the crossroads of America. I bet you can't tell me what town that is. Well, maybe you can, you guessed it, Paducah, Texas. We're at the intersection of Highway 83 and 62. Highway 83 runs north to Canada, all the way down to Mexico. Highway 62 runs from the east coast to the west coast. They cross right here in Paducah, Texas. Crossroads of America. Be sure to stop and get a picture of yourself here at the Crossroads of America in Paducah, Texas. I promise you, it'll be one you'll cherish. Y'all remember now, that baby's coming from a Texan. Adios.
An Old Memory, the critically acclaimed new tribute album from Dylan Scott, features 7 traditional country songs honoring one of his musical heroes, Keith Whitley.
When you say nothing at all,
The project includes Don't Close Your Eyes,
don't close your eyes, let it be me,
Between an Old Memory and Me,
an old memory,
and more. An Old Memory, the new album from Dylan Scott, available now on Amazon Music.
when you say nothing at all.
Now I feel so thankfully that you have been so good to me.
Howdy neighbors, Pat Waters here. Welcome to Drive Across Texas. We're still in Paducah, Texas today. We're at the Farmers and Ranchers Market here with the owner, Mr. Dennis Cross. Dennis, how you doing, buddy?
Just fine, sir.
Good. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy work day to talk to us. Now, we were talking off air a while ago. You're a veteran of the military, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. What branch were you in?
I was Army Aviation, helicopter pilot in Vietnam, and served 26 years, retired to full colonel, and came back to teach in DeSoto for 15 years, and then back here full time. And this community is important to us, and we're glad to be here and be a part of it.
That's awesome. You grew up here in Paducah, didn't you?
I grew up in this Paducah
Area?
area.
That's
Right.
great. Was it always a goal of yours to get back to your hometown or hometown area?
Didn't really think about that growing up, but it worked out that way, and it certainly became a thing to consider and something we really wanted to do as we progressed throughout our life.
Well, that's great. You know, being a veteran of a foreign war, I know that y'all have a VFW here in town, and when it was first opened, Bob Wills was the first band that I ever played. And I know that's something to the veterans here in this area that's very dear to y'all's heart, because you attended that with your families as kids, and I know that you were very instrumental in saving that thing and keeping that building alive. Would you be so kind as to tell the viewers about what all you did?
Well, as the organizations that maintained and built that in the beginning, as those organizations dwindled in membership, it's just a fact, small town Texas, you know, our population's getting older and it's getting smaller, and people move to the Metroplex and Houston, and so as those organizations dwindled, there was a need for somebody to look after the building, to make sure it was well maintained and taken care of, and organize and schedule events. And so realizing the need, we want to preserve the building, keep it in good shape, and make it useful to the community and for all time. And so we work to get the ownership transferred from a non-entity to the county, and supportive of the commissioners, the county judge, and the local population to support that and keep the building in good shape.
I want to commend you on saving that building. Thank you very much. The other thing I want to commend you on and thank you is I appreciate your service. It's for guys like you that allow me to chase my dreams, the American dreams, you know, and sleep under a blanket of freedom every night. And thank you so much for that, 26 years and another additional 15 years after that. That's giving a lot of yourself to this great country.
Well, thank you. We
bet.
appreciate what you do to tell the story of Texas.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
Folks, I'm telling you, on your next drive across Texas and you come into Paducah, Texas, stop in the old feed store here, talk to Mr. Cross. He's got some great stories. I guarantee you, you'll be entertained. And y'all remember now, that baby's coming from a Texan. Adios.
You're watching Strike TV Video Country. Call your local cable and satellite TV provider and ask about Strike TV.
The Heritage Museum, located on Highway 83 in Paducah, Texas, is a visual, living history of Paducah and Cottle County. You will find a knowledgeable staff, a unique collection of pictures, antiques, memorabilia, and more. The museum is open Monday, Tuesday, Thursdays, and Fridays from 9 to 11 a.m. and 1 to 5 p.m. The Heritage Museum in Paducah, Texas is certainly worth a stop on your next drive across Texas, and that's coming from a Texan.
Hey folks, I'm Pat Waters. Welcome back to Drive Across Texas. We're still here in Paducah, Texas. We're at the Heritage Museum with the curator, Miss Sammy Thompson. How are you doing?
Nice to meet you.
Hey, it's good to see you. Thank you for having us. So, Miss Thompson, this building's kind of a unique building. What was this building originally?
It was the railroad depot, the Quanah Acme Railroad Depot.
And they donated this for the museum
Yes,
after they?
sir.
Oh, that's amazing. That's good. I'm going to ask you a simple question here, and you've been at the museum here for 5 years. What is your favorite thing in the museum?
Well, I love my Western items back here. When people bring in pictures and old pictures of cowboys and old pictures of the town when it was first started, which I have around here on this corner. So I love those old pictures when they bring them in because, you know, once they're gone, and a lot of people throw things away. I wish they wouldn't, but they do. And when they throw things away, then they're gone.
That's it. You can't get them back.
You can't get them back.
Now,
so.
are you originally from Paducah?
Yes, sir. I was born and raised here.
And your husband here, right?
Yes.
So were y'all high school sweethearts?
Practically.
That's great. That's awesome. Well, I'll tell you what, I sure appreciate the hospitality and taking the time to show us around the Heritage Museum. If you want to see a traditional way of cowboy living, you need to come to this museum here in Paducah. It's got just a plethora of information on Cottle County. If you're like it, the Drive Across Texas team, man, we love that history, and we're proud to be from Texas, and it just allows it to continue to go on for generations and generations. So check the Heritage Museum out in Paducah, Texas, and y'all remember now, that baby's coming from a Texan. Hey y'all, Pat Waters here. Welcome to Drive Across Texas. Today we're in Paducah, Texas. We come out here to attend a rodeo and dance tonight. And I'm telling you folks something about Paducah, Texas, man. It is a cowboy's way of life here. I've got a legend right beside me, Mr. Larry Thompson. Larry, how are you doing, buddy?
Just fine, just fine.
Good. Thank you for taking time out of your busy day. I know you got all your livestock fed this morning, and you're good for the rest of the afternoon, ain't you?
You bet.
You bet. Hey, I know we're out here for the rodeo. It's a big annual event, and your wife was telling me off air a while ago that you
were over that for 20 years.
Yeah, I was on the board of directors for 20 years, and I served as president for 6 of it. I started back in the 70s and got off of it in the 90s. Back in the 70s, this rodeo was really a booming. You know, we had a horse show. We'd have over 100 halter horses and performance horses, AQHA. And our barbecue, back in the heyday in the 70s, we'd feed 3,500 people.
When was the first rodeo here?
1940, this is a 77, so it'd be 1942 of this, or 41, and then 1 year during the war they didn't have it. So I think it started in 41.
Well, I tell you what, I sure appreciate your hospitality, and I hope the 77th rodeo here in Paducah, Friday night and Saturday night's going to be a huge success for you guys.
I hope it will, and I hope the weather holds out good.
I do too. You're going to be over, ain't you?
I'll be there.
Well, good. I always need somebody to buy me a cold drink.
Okay, sure will.
Good.
Thanks for that.
All right. Larry Thompson, ladies and gentlemen. We're out here at Paducah, Texas. I'm telling you, on your next drive across Texas, you got to mark this in. 77 years, except for one during the war, that this has been a continuous rodeo in operation here in Paducah. If you want to see the real cowboy life, come out to Paducah, Texas. Y'all know that baby's coming from a Texan.
Made for people with pride and flavor. Deeply rooted in originality, high quality, and community, 903 Brewers prides itself in offering its best. Cultivating their craft since 2013, they are known for their unique seasonal and special release beers. Any craft beer lover will be sure to find their flavor at 903 Brewers in Sherman, Texas. Check us out at 903brewers.com.
Hey y'all, Pat Waters. Hey, we're here in West Texas, headed to Old Glory. And Miss Wendy, she found a geocache. We're gonna take time out of our busy schedule and we're gonna try to find this geocache and share it with y'all. Wendy, what'd you find?
Well, I found one, and it's called the Old Glory Cemetery. I'm not sure it's actually in the cemetery, but it's taking us here. So we're gonna go look around and kind of see what we find. The cemetery was actually, the first burial was in 1906. So it's kind of old and it's got some cool things. So let's go check it out.
We'll go check it out. Hey, y'all hang on with us, man. We'll go find this geocache. All right, folks, welcome back to Old Glory, Texas. We're out here geocaching on our way to the actual town of Old Glory. And as you know, by checking other videos of Drive Across Texas and our geocache experiences, old Pat found it again. I always find them. You need to start stepping your game up.
I just want to make you feel good.
Is that what it is? That way you sit back?
I wouldn't want you to be,
but anyway,
sad.
This is a geocache, and so I'm going to get the what's this called in here?
It's called a log.
A log, get it out and sign my name on it. And Wendy, she'll sign her name on it, and we'll log it on our geocache app. And one thing exciting about this one is that when we pulled the log out, we're the first people in a long time to be able to, it's been out here.
Yep. The log owner, the cache owner, she actually put a new log in there not too long ago, a couple of months or so. So we're the first ones that have happened along this way and found it in a couple of months, which happens from time to time.
It does. Old Glory, it's not like in the beaten path. It's kind of off the beaten path.
That's right. You kind of have to go looking for it.
You do. So y'all come check it out, Old Glory, Texas, folks. Y'all remember now, that baby's coming from a Texan. Adios.
So thankfully that you have been so good to me.
Welcome to Tamales Mexican Restaurant. Our chefs are here every day at 8 a.m. preparing the freshest chips, guacamole, and pico de gallo from scratch. We use real skirt steak, the real Mexican way, made from food with integrity. Come see us at Tamales Mexican Restaurant.
Get Done Up Boutique and Salon is located at 811 8th Street on the square in Paducah, Texas. They're open Tuesday through Friday from 10 to 6 p.m. and Saturday 10 to 4 p.m. Stop in and check out the fabulous selection of unique gifts, clothing, jewelry, and home decor. Be sure to join them for their weekly Facebook Live event on Mondays at 6:30 p.m. And while you're there, say hi to Tessa in the salon and schedule your hair or nails. Get Done Up, where there's something for everyone. And that's coming from a Texan.
Hey y'all, welcome to Drive Across Texas. I'm Pat Waters. We're doing the 77th annual Paducah Rodeo. We slipped out in the background here and we come to the cookhouse here and where they do all the cooking for all the people. And we got Morris and Jimmy here. Guys, how y'all doing, man?
It's great.
Good. Thank y'all, sir. Taking time out of you cooking and talking with us. So I'm curious, I got several questions here. First and foremost, how many pounds of beef y'all cooking?
We're cooking about 830 pounds right now.
Is that consist of just all brisket?
Yes, all brisket.
Wow, that's a lot of meat. What about potatoes? How many pounds of potatoes?
We normally do right around 200 pounds of potato salad.
And what else do y'all serve?
We do, right around 80 pounds of beans. And then we'll do like 80 or 90 head of cabbage for coleslaw.
Good Lord, that's like feeding an army, ain't it?
Well, yeah, pretty much.
And that leads me to my next question. How many people do y'all feed?
We'll average probably, 600, Jimmy?
Yeah, anywhere between 500 and 600 people. They'll line up on Plaster Highway.
Yeah, what we're doing right now when we start feeding won't last 2 hours. So,
isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
All that labor of love. How many years y'all been doing this?
This is my 11th year.
I've been with him 11 years. When I brought him in here, he started helping me. But I've been doing it prior years before, just helping the other guys that used to be in here.
That's great. I'm going to tell you, folks. I know there's a lot of people that's going to thank y'all because they say this is wonderful barbecue. So y'all must be doing something right.
Well, we try.
That's good. As long as you're having fun, and people enjoy it, that's what it's all about. So thank y'all very much, and man, I hope y'all have a great meal for everybody. I know you will.
Yeah.
And enjoy the rodeo.
Yeah, we will.
77th year.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Y'all remember now, that baby's coming from a Texan. Adios. Hey folks, we're in Paducah, Texas, and what did I find? Found an old cowboy here from Wise County, Decatur, Texas cowboy, Austin Kirkland. You'll be doing the saddle bronc?
Yes, sir.
Brother, you go out there and win that money.
Appreciate it.
Safe travels home.
We're going to try. Thank you.
All right, brother. It's good to see you. Y'all remember that's coming from a couple Texans. Adios.
Where y'all from?
Hey, folks, we're at the 77th Rodeo, Paducah, Texas.
This is where
you'll be riding Shetland?
Electric.
All right. Preston Monroe, he's going to compete tonight. Good luck to you, buddy. You bring that money home. All right, buddy. Y'all remember that's coming from a Texan. Adios.
And then it got kicked from my ankle and busted it into the
Side of the steel fence. Well, that ain't no good. That's tough rodeo life. You ready?
Roll it.
Hey, we're here at Paducah, 77th annual rodeo. We interviewed our buddy here a while ago, and he was going to ride one of them old Shetlands. I told him to shoot low because he'd be riding a Shetland. That took a bad fall in there, didn't you? That old Shetland pinned your ankle in between that fence and himself, didn't he? I'll tell you what, you was tough though. You didn't shed a tear. Hopped on out of there and crippled off to the side and checked that ankle, didn't you? Just keep giving it a lot of try, all right? All right, folks, y'all know rodeo ain't an easy life, but it's something you love. Old Monroe, he'll be back, won't you? All right, y'all remember that baby's coming from a Texan. Adios. Good job. But I'm Pat Waters with Drive Across Texas. I hear you come from Wales over here every year to work cattle. That's great, man. How long you been doing that?
I've been over here 3 years now.
That's great. Now, do you go back to Wales after you work the cattle?
Yes, sir. I go back there. I come back in the spring, in the 6s.
Good.
I punch cows because I love doing it.
That's awesome, man. What's your name?
Josie Wales.
Josie Wales. I'm Pat Waters from
Nice to meet
Bridgeport,
you, sir.
Texas. Pleasure to meet you, my friend.
Nice to meet you.
Hope you have a great work season, and man, be safe on your travels back to Wales.
Sir, thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, brother. Let's see you. Mr. Boots, it's an honor to meet you, sir. My pleasure. I'm Pat Waters.
Pat Waters.
Yes, sir. You ain't still working cows, are you?
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Did all day yesterday and the day before.
Just solid work, ain't it? Yeah. That's good.
We're in the time of year that we're branding, so we've got like a 15-man crew. We get up and pull out every morning.
Now, how many heads of cows y'all working this year?
Well, there'll be, I don't know, but several thousand.
That's great. Now, I hear you're the resident cowboy out there at 4-6, is that right?
I've been there 30 years.
That's amazing.
But I work under a boy that's a wagon boss. His name's Reggie Hatfield, and then I work, the manager's named Joe Leathers. They're the kind of running it.
They're running it? But you tell them how to do that, don't you?
I have done both of them at different times.
That's awesome. Now, where are you originally from?
I was raised right in this area. I grew up in Clarendon.
Okay, Clarendon, Texas.
JA's there in the Paducah Canyon when I was starting out.
That's great.
Worked there, and then I went to come down here in this country in '55 and went to work for Wagner. So
Oh, yeah.
Burning.
You ever been to Decatur, Texas?
Well, I've just been down there and seen where the old Wagner
Mansion was? Yeah, it wasn't a bad house, was it? I'm from Bridgeport, so it ain't 9 miles from it. Yeah, we've been there a long time, but I tell you what, the old cowboy way of life's been good to you, hasn't it?
In case I don't see you.
Thank you.
Cowboy's been a good way of life for you, hasn't it?
Well, I went to work riding a horse for a living in '49, and I'm still doing it.
That's great.
And I still ride nearly every day.
Enjoy it, don't you?
I don't do a whole lot of else anymore.
Yeah.
I'm 87.
87 years old.
I don't do much physical work, but I still ride all the time.
But you can tell them how to do it, can't you?
Give a lot of orders.
Give a lot of orders. You can delegate.
Yeah.
Boots, pleasure to meet you, my sir. It's a tremendous honor.
I'm glad to talk to you.
I'm gonna tell you what, I seen your show last night. It's phenomenal. What's your name?
Brian Patton.
Mr. Pat Waters. Pleasure to see you. You did a great job, man. That's a lot of work, isn't it?
They had no idea.
They don't, do they? They don't. You're out of Epps, Louisiana?
Yes, sir.
That's awesome, man. What's this cat's name?
Django.
Django.
He's not real.
Okay. I won't touch him. Yeah, I don't want to be hooked with him. I promise you.
He's a one-man cat.
There ain't nothing wrong with that. How long you been working with him?
I had him since he was a year and a half, and he's 3. So
That's great. And you had another one also.
got a longhorn steer.
How old was that one?
He's 13, 14, something like that.
Working. Man, people don't understand how much you crawled that longhorn steer on top of that trailer last night. That was amazing. That was amazing. Well, I tell you what, it's a pleasure to meet you. Thank you so much for your time, man. Good luck. Hope you have a great show tonight. Django was a little, he's kind of a one cowboy guy, so, I mean, most of the time I'll fight, but I ain't got no chance to win that one, so I'm gonna step out.